morning, Bucknutters. Welcome to the Bucknuts Morning 5 here on Wednesday, April 26th, 2017. I am Dave Biddle, and I'm very happy to be joined by Bucknuts contributor Jonah Booker. J-Book, of course, the big news yesterday, Brenton Cox, number 2 defensive end in the country, according to the 24/7 Sports Composite, announced he will be a Buckeye. He becomes the 8th commitment in the 2018 class. Just a huge get for the Buckeyes. They continue to recruit the state of Georgia extremely well. This 2018 class just keeps getting better. Just your thoughts on Brenton Cox being a Buckeye.
I'm fired up about this day. It's unbelievable. What a tremendous recruiting job by Urban Meyer and Larry Johnson, going down to the state of Georgia and absolutely snagging a gem straight out of the heart of the SEC country. I mean, you go to the Georgia 24/7 board, and it's a nuclear meltdown over there. Those guys were banking on a talent like Cox staying home, and for Ohio State to go down there and snag him is absolutely tremendous. It's something to be very excited about if you're an Ohio State fan, especially you pair Cox, who is a dominant, strong side defensive end, with Teron Vincent, and you look at the other defensive linemen on the board with Michael Parsons decommitting from Penn State, and the crystal balls rolling in for him. I mean, my goodness, talk about the haul that on the defensive line that Ohio State is setting themselves up for. Simply tremendous.
Yeah, Micah Parsons, do you feel like he's, I mean, we don't want to use the word lock in the world of recruiting, but you feel like he's pretty close to a lock? I mean, this is a kid that's from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and just decommits from Penn State, and even have Bill Kurelic, who when he puts his crystal ball in, you can almost take it to the bank. Do you feel like Micah Parsons is pretty close to a lock to the Buckeyes?
I'm feeling it. Like you said, nothing is a guarantee, but you really have to like where Ohio State's at. I mean, the guy's been to Ohio State more times than he was visiting Penn State. He's been to Ohio State 4 times. He named his dog Brutus. He's absolutely close to Jalen Gill and a lot of the current commits, so you have to really feel good about him. You know, you're getting the number 1 defensive tackle in the country. You're setting yourself up to get the number 1 defensive end, weak side defensive end in the country. You got Cox in the fold, the number 2 strong side defensive end. You got the Cleveland kid that's on the board for Ohio State that Alex Gleitman thinks is going to jump to a 5-star. He's one of the most polished, pure pass rushers to come out of Ohio in a long time. So getting Micah Parsons, I mean, to me right now, Dave, if we'd have ended signing day tomorrow and you told me we're getting Teron Vincent and Brenton Cox, I would be extremely excited. The fact that you can add Micah Parsons to that mix, I mean, that's Dwayne Long naked John Worthy right there.
The fact that Brenton Cox committed to the Buckeyes leads me to believe that not only was Emory Jones crucial in this recruitment and an integral part of this recruitment, but any worries that Emory Jones might be wavering in his commitment to Ohio State, I think, not completely out the window. You never know until they sign on the dotted line. But to me, it's twofold. Not only is Emory Jones helping recruit guys to Ohio State, but getting another top kid from his own state in Brenton Cox, I think that helps solidify Emory Jones as a Buckeye commitment if there was any worries about that. Because I've gotten that question, I'm sure you have too, is Emory Jones solid? Well, the Brenton Cox commitment, not only is that great, just period, it's also great because I think it solidifies Emory Jones in the class.
Absolutely. And Emory Jones, he's been recruiting his butt off for Ohio State. To me, this is a guy that took a couple of visits, looked around, which he had every right to do so. Urban and Neal may not like it, considering that's your top quarterback, but the actions speak louder than words right now because he is absolutely delivering the goods when it comes to being the leader of this class, recruiting guys, helping deliver Cox to us. And then, at the spring game, he was one of the guys that a lot of recruits said that they bonded with. So the running back from Florida that's Ohio State commit right now, the reason he's saying that he's solidified his commitment to Ohio State, Snead, is because he wants to play with Emory Jones. So typically when you have a guy that's out in front being a leader for the class, he's helping recruit. A lot of guys are looking to him as his leadership. you really don't see those guys flipping because they're so invested in what they've done so far with helping recruit for that class. I mean, think about it. If he flipped to another school, I can't see it happening anytime soon. He's the type of guy that wants to play with the elite athletes in the country, and right now, that's what Ohio State is surrounding him with. So if he flipped, then he's not going to be able to really recruit, so much for that other school. So I'm not worried about Emory Jones. I like where we stand with him.
All right, let's switch gears big time. NFL draft is tomorrow. First round is tomorrow night. Gareon Conley expected to be a first-round pick. In fact, it looked like he was a lock to be not only a first-round pick, but a top, 15 pick in the draft. And then word leaked out yesterday and was reported yesterday. I should say it leaked out 2 nights ago, but really was reported yesterday that Gareon Conley is being accused of rape in Cleveland. There's all kinds of talk that he's getting set up. There's been published reports, or at least there's been blog posts, I should say, not published reports, that are saying that this is, set up. You never know what to believe, though. I certainly don't know what to believe. I'm just curious to get your take on this. What do you believe? What do you think will come of this from what you've read and seen, Jay Book?
Yeah, when the news broke that it was Gareon, I absolutely had a pit in my stomach. You never want to see situations like this. You hope the situation is not true. If it is, all praise goes to the, to the victim, because you don't want to see anybody get in a situation to where they're feeling like they're being violated. So it's a situation you really want to tread lightly on. You hope it's not true for Gareon Conley. This is a guy who was knocking on the doorsteps of being a multi-millionaire. Now, how this affects his draft stock, obviously a lot of teams are going to have to do their due diligence. It's going to be hard for him to clear his name a couple days before the draft after this news breaks. So it absolutely is devastating. The guy probably cost himself millions, even if it's not true. You think of the Dallas Cowboy offensive lineman, La'el Collins. He was accused of something. He wasn't even accused of something. He was just someone that the police wanted to talk to, and the guy went from a lock in the top 10 to being undrafted. So you hate to see this situation. If anything, it's a learning situation for other kids coming up to don't even put yourself in a situation to where you can negatively impact yourself as well as your family. So Gareon, I hope everything goes well for him. You obviously have sympathy for the victim who's making these accusations. As you said, nobody knows if it's true. He could be set up, and if it's so, there should be repercussions for the person who's accusing him of that. But it's a delicate situation. You really don't know which way to trend. I mean, the news and the police in Cleveland, they don't even really know how to handle the whole situation because the police didn't want to release the report. The news stations didn't want to release the name. It took TMZ to do some digging to really put it out there to the public. I know we had it mentioned on our board, but the board didn't want to, put his name out there with it being just straight accusations. But you hate to see it. You hope everything works out for the best for the kid.
Well said, Jonah. I just hope whatever happens, justice is served. Whether if he's guilty, then he needs to go to jail. If she's making this up, then she needs to have some serious repercussions herself. Very well said, and I appreciate your insights. As always, my friend, he is Jonah Booker. You can catch his column every week. It is Outside Columbus. So thank you to Jay Book, and thanks to all the listeners out there for tuning into the show. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great day. Let's hear a little Buckeye swag. Best damn band in the land.